So here's a little teaser for what I would argue is the greatest comic book ever written. Easily put it against Watchmen. I would argue that it might be the greatest book ever written in mankind's history, as it's not some childish comic book like Iron Man or Spider-Man, which I love. I love those comics. But they're not that mature. They're not that subversive in a society as robotic as this. Mine is kind of, it teaches ordinary people multiple ways to fight back against Goliaths. That's one reason it's so dangerous a book. And you know it's dangerous because they've jailed me dozens of times falsely. In fact, the whole graphic novel was written and drawn while in Rikers Island, the world's largest prison, being tortured. I would have died, for example, from starvation, which they would have said was natural causes, if not for fellow inmates sneaking me food, etc. Another reason why this is the most powerful book ever written. You can't compare this to the Bible. The Bible is silly parables. I mean, not all of them are silly. Some of them make good points, but as parables. How to become a superhero will change the lives of any person who reads it. Unfortunately, the government has done so many different things to completely handicap and cripple my life that it is impossible for me to do almost anything, from get to a store to publish my graphic novels. And that was the point. They said, and they're correct, they said, if we don't keep arresting Christopher, and if we don't neutralize him, he is going to destroy us, because he knows all of our secrets. And once he reveals those magic tricks to the public, the magic tricks never work again. I mean, you could think, no, they probably just jailed you dozens and dozens and dozens of times falsely because they didn't like your haircut. No, you're wrong. It's because I was exposing their crimes over and over again. And my track record is devastatingly good. Thank you very much. But let's focus because we're supposed to give you a teaser of this comic book. Now, it follows 10 ordinary citizens. All of them live in New York City. I'm not some idiot who names the city Gotham or Metropolis. I deal with real shit. That's what makes my graphic novels the most powerful in history. It's all real. And unlike Mouse, which is written about a guy whose family died in concentration camps, mine was written by a man inside a concentration camp begging for them to kill him. I begged them every day to kill me. Now, stupid people are going to say, well, then why didn't you want to starve to death? Because sometimes you get fucking hungry, you asshole. And I really can't participate in my own death because that feels terrible. Why, if I'm going to kill anybody, why would I kill the only person I could always trust? Why would I kill the most honest person in the world? Why would I kill the smartest person in the world? That would be stupid, wouldn't it? I would kill everybody else. If I'm going to kill anyone, it shouldn't be myself. It should be the douchebags who ruin the world. Anyhow, it follows 10 ordinary citizens, and it shows you, and you read it, and you go, holy shit, that could really happen tomorrow. There's no fantasy in here. There's no stretch of the imagination. It all makes completely logical, fabulous sense. And so today I'm going to give you a teaser of the Negro Nightmare. So gather around the fire, children, and listen about a superhero who matters. The Negro Nightmare. Now remember, I wrote all this in 2012. Will it ever see the light of day? Who knows? So first we have we don't all just have origin stories. Some of the origin stories don't come till later. Some they never arrive. Some of the characters we see their origin stories first, of course. Chapter 4 is our first introduction to the Negro Nightmare, one of our favorites of the 10 new, well, there's more than 10 new superheroes invented. All of them smarter than any other superheroes ever invented, which, of course, to be fair, isn't that big a boast. Dude makes weapons, dude makes an iron suit that can fly and shoot. Not that clever an idea. Still, I love Iron Man, do not get me wrong. I love Spider-Man, love Batman, love them all. I just thought, why don't we take it up a few notches? Chapter 4, I'm just going to skim the 3 chapters we're going to look at for his origin story here, just to give you a teaser of the Negro Nightmare. Chapter 4. Harold Westchester III is an upper-class black nerd who likes to think he's white as he lives his sheltered life as a banker in Connecticut. meaning this is a black guy who has nothing in common with black people as we know the terms. Mr. Westchester, he's a cracker like Obama is. Harold can't relate to most black people because he was raised rich in a white town. He does not know what real life is like. And yeah, he's saying, oh, these kids, they have problems with the police because they wear their pants baggy or they wear hoodies and blah, blah, blah. Same crap you hear from racist white people. Then one night, reality decides to pay Harold a little visit and kick his fucking ass. Families driving into New York City for a Broadway show, Rambo vs. Godzilla, blah, blah, blah. It's true, I was going to reinvent the musical as an art form, but then tens of thousands of fake liberal artists stopped me. And a lot of right-wingers helped them. Blah, blah, blah. Suddenly, driving through the Bronx, DWB, that means driving while black, cops pull them over. He's driving a nice car. He's a rich banker from Connecticut. And of course, police, even the black police, are racist pieces of shit. Not all of them, but most of them. And the black cops are even more racist than the white cops to overcompensate. So let's, sorry, I'm digressing. As you see here, he gets pulled over, the cop is belligerent, N-word, 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 your wife and kids, You defying a direct order, get the fuck out of the car, nigga. Don't make me beat the shit out of you. I'm in no mood and I don't want to get your nigga blood on me. Now, remember, you're talking to an author jailed dozens of times with false arrests. There's a little bit of gravitas here, a little resonance. I have been bloodied by cops on many occasions. On 3 occasions, I was covered in blood by other people, and the police refused to do their job and do anything. I've been robbed many, many, many times. The police refuse to do their job. Over and over again, criminals do their job, and they do it usually pretty well. Cops, according to them, the cops almost never, ever do their job. They're like, well, yeah, we don't solve 80% of reported crime, but 80% isn't that high in a figure, say the cops. As you can see here, the cop drags him out of the car, blah, 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 threatening him with the gun in his face, blah, blah, blah. You lunching at me, nigga? Give me a reason to blow your nigga brains out. Give me a reason. Now, you see an asterisk there. One of the fascinating things about my 4 graphic novels written in Rikers Island, the world's largest concentration camp, was that I put all kinds of great footnotes at the bottom of each page. Sometimes those footnotes were, oh shit, I just had 3 guards come in and threaten me. So you get this taste of what it's like day to day inside of Rikers. Now, there aren't any on these pages yet because I couldn't put them because what the guards started to do was seize my artwork in Rikers to see if I was exposing any of the crimes of Rikers via the graphic novel. So I had to start writing on other notes, hiding those, but not putting them with the artwork to attach at a later date. Sadly, many of those notes have been stolen, both in Rikers and outside of Rikers. They destroyed a lot of my stuff in Rikers. Not the criminals, the so-called good guys did, to cover up their actions. For example, the whole lunging at me, give me a reason, is me paraphrasing a officer in Rikers who threatened me with the pepper spray in my eyes for no legitimate reason in front of everybody. It was quite a debacle. But that's another story for another day. Then we go to the next page here. I want to see your tits right now, says the fucking black woman. Okay. And she says, no. And he says, okay, well, there goes your windshield, smashes it. Now, remember, in America, cops are allowed to do almost anything they do. One of the things they never like to tell you, it's weird that the media doesn't want to tell you, this is the most interesting fact of the entire subject matter. Police are allowed to kill anybody they want. They don't want you to know this. By law, the way the law is written, in most places in America, is a cop can kill anybody he wants as long as he was scared. Now, if you've seen any of these shootings, the cops always say the same thing. I was real scared. I was really, really scared. Yo, I'm a police officer. No, we take this job because we're scared. We're scared of what? So we want a bulletproof vest, and we want to have gun, and I need to have a gang with 30,000 members backing me up here because I'm a coward. I can't do anything on myself. I got to have me a gun, the license to shoot anybody I want. You disrespect me at the grocery store, I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to say you lunged at me. And of course, it's going to be, if I am prosecuted, which is unlikely, I'm going to be prosecuted with my own teammate in front of a judge who's on the same team as me. We're all paid by the same person, and we're all corrupt and all in it involved, in it together. And none of this is remotely legal under the 14th Amendment, but who's going to tell you the truth? The media? Okay, I've digressed. Sorry. Anyhow, as you can see, it goes on and on and on and on. A lot of dialogue. I love the dialogue. I'm certainly not going to reread it here. Read it to you here. Too much of it, and there's often too much dialogue because I'm a fantastic writer usually, and sadly, there's way too much dialogue in these graphic novels. But the dialogue is fantastic. And then there you see, I left a panel blank in the middle in case I wanted to add something later. Burp. Then you see the police spitting on them as they leave. The dad, the formerly apolitical Harold Westchester III, says he's thinking kill Nazi pigs. His children are crying from being pepper sprayed in the face. If you think police are good, you will debate me in a public forum. Not one human being will. Not even the police union heads. When I tried to debate Pat Lynch in New York City, he ran away, as the cameras show. Not even the defender of police could defend the police. I think that's pretty fascinating, don't you? Shit, we're at 11 minutes. Then his wife here, you see at the end of this scene, chapter 4, you see the wife saying, didn't I tell you cops are KKK? Blah, 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 blah. Remember, we knew police were dirty criminals before we invented police, ladies and germs. You know how we knew that? Because of a little concept called power corrupts. Now, some people could say, we didn't know that before the invention of police. You're a stupid liar, and nobody believes you, you stupid liar. Before the invention of police, we knew the police had to be utterly corrupt. Absolute power corrupts. Police have almost absolute power. It's far worse than I'm making it sound. For example, they then said, well, we want police to be corrupt, but we want them to be a lot more than corrupt. So what should we do? One, let's pick the least educated people to be cops. Okay, ding, ding, ding. Time to make them even more corrupt and dirty. What else? How about we pick 20-year-old males? They're the most immature people on the planet, the most immature group. We'd be better off if all cops are 80-year-old women. We'd be better off if all cops are 8-year-old girls with a license to kill. We'd be better off with any group in society other than uneducated 20-year-old males. Here, Tony, you're going to be allowed to drive as fast as you want because you're a 20-year-old male. We know you're going to be responsible. We're also going to give you permission to shoot anybody you'd like if you're scared. Now remember, you only can shoot somebody if you're scared. Doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, just as long as you're scared. So count up the number of times police shot somebody. Oh, they said, we're not cowards. Well, yes, you are. That was your literal legal argument, you fucking lying pieces of shit. Now, I have friends who are cops, so mind you, I don't slam all cops. But as a vehicle, they have to be corrupt. That was the whole point of creating the police, to protect the 1%, to protect the kings, etc., from the 99%. That's the sole purpose of the police. I know you don't think so because you believe everything the newspapers tell you, because why would they lie? I'm digressed again. Let me finish my point. What was it, though? Oh, right? You got 20-year-old males. I mean, they're not going to abuse the ability to drive as fast as they want. Would they? What 20-year-old male wants to drive really fast and run red lights? What 20-year-old likes to shoot guns? What 20-year-old male would ever abuse his authority knowing he could pretty much rape any woman in society he wants? Yeah, no. Men don't have much of a history of raping women. Soldiers certainly don't. Government certainly doesn't. You people have no idea how corrupt the world is. No, you're not even close. Anyhow, blah, blah, blah. She says here, you see, you don't I told you, you don't sue Nazis. We all agree. You don't sue Nazis. You don't even arrest them. You execute Nazis. You kill them. Even the Nazis said that's how you do it. You don't arrest or sue or prosecute your enemies. You kill them. You kill them. You kill them. Now, I'm a pacifist. I wish I wasn't, but I am. It's a dead end. Anyhow, then there's other scenes, other superheroes. Then we get back here. Now it's chapter 8, I guess, as you see here. Here we're at chapter 8. Many scenes later. Not all the chapters involve one scene. Here we see the wife. She's whistling and appears to be washing the dishes. He says, hey, honey, ta-da! It's your favorite new superhero, America's Nightmare, says Harold, wearing some weird-looking leotard. Looks like some kind of Olympics crap. His wife is baffled. Get it? America's Nightmare. I took your advice. I'm accepting my African heritage. Isn't it tremendous? See how I designed the A and the N to show angry eyebrows? For America's Nightmare? And the stars on my chest? I'm a black guy, ergo America's Nightmare. And we see his wife's giggling a little bit, snickering. Oh dear, I've created a monster, haven't I? Because she told him, maybe you should join the rest of the world and realize that there's a massive race problem in America. What? You don't like it? And then she critiques it, and that, I love the scene. I'm not going to read it, obviously. Oh, what's this? Ooch, we'll get you a flashlight, and you can be the vanilla lantern. Ouch. Oh, yeah, you look like America's gymnast. Your name should be Captain Hunky. Ouch. She's being pretty brutal here, critiquing his costume, etc. And blah, 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 blah. We hear the last panel here. What's your superpower? I don't have one yet. I see. I was hoping you could help me with that. Like a lot of men, they need their women to hold their hands. And she says, you're really going to commit. America's Nightmare is a pretty good name, but you really need to commit. You are the Negro Nightmare. As you can see, he's sharp. What? Yes, Negro. Like, you got to accept this your heritage, and you're going to fucking own it. Fudge! And she says, I'll be right back. As you see, not all it's finished being drawn, and probably all that will never be finished being drawn. There's no reason to, and my life is unbearable. I'll be right back. Rustle, rustle, sound of rustling. She's going in the closet here, looking at some boxes. She comes out with an afro wig. Yes. You cannot be serious. Shh, she tells him. She gets out the Sharpie. She's changing the AN to the NN. Then we see her, she's at the faucet filling up some kind of bracelet, or is that a watch? She pulls off his silky gloves, and she snaps these devices on his wrists. Ta-da! Push the trigger. Squirt, squirt. Billy's wrist water guns? That's my superpower? Who's my enemy? The Wicked Witch of the West? Cheap shot. No, silly, we're gonna fill it with pepper spray so you can shoot cops. Hey, that's kind of clever. Freeze, Porky Pig. Right in their eyes. Taste their own medicine. Now, I would hope that somebody had already invented these. You see, the concept is that she's getting the kids water guns, but they're like they're almost like Spider-Man toys, but they're water guns. They're hollow plastic watches, wristbands, that fill with water, and then when you push your pinky and ring finger down, you hit the tab and it shoots. So it's like you're shooting a fake gun, an imaginary gun, but it actually shoots water. I'm going to guess they don't exist because I had to invent them, but I would hope somebody else thought of that because it would make a great idea, right? Shooting a water gun that shoots like Spider-Man. Then we turn the page. Oh, yeah, he's digging it. Turn the page. He's putting something over his head. Gangsta, yep. He's like, no way. No way. She's got baggy pants. Yes way. I can't fight crime in these. They keep falling down. She has the suspenders. He's upset because his wife always has the answers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a blood. It's a playa. It's the Negro Nightmare. Hey, be glad I didn't force you to use Super Nigger. Just a few more things. Some boxers, steel toe, shit kickers for cop stomping, start exercising, dress rehearsal, blah, 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 blah. Cuts to him in the mirror. He's trying out his moves to, you want to be starting something, you got to be starting something, yeah. There's a lot of music cues in the graphic novels. You just have to put on the famous tunes yourself. I don't have to get permission from anybody. Thank you very much. What's funny, oh, here we go. And then you see the family looking in on, oh, brother, is this what crack does to you? Asked the kid. Daddy's going to gangsta on us? Where's his hammer? Grab your crotch, Daddy. Oh, yeah, and it turns out it's funny. That song just came to mind. You want to be starting something? And then one day I heard it while in Rikers on the radio, and there was a whole Afro pop section, which is amazing, perfect synchronicity because he's a black guy who thinks he's white, and he's learning his heritage. And that scene ends where he develops the Negro Nightmare costume and name. Now let's jump ahead to chapter 13. We're not exactly sure yet. All the chapters haven't been exactly set in stone for the sequence. And in case I needed to throw in an extra chapter, I didn't I didn't set them in stone yet. Here we see two stupid cops in a police car. It explains that. At night, they're complaining about a whole bunch of stuff. It's all real. Almost everything in this comic book is real, masquerading as fiction. Like these two cops complaining about how they have to arrest people for no reason because there's ticket quotas and arrest quotas and all that jazz. All true. Almost all of it covered up by lying reporters. Again, I can't say this enough. The greatest villain in the history of mankind are reporters. Reporters and reporters. Or sometimes they call themselves journalists. That's the only way the Nazis stole the 1933 elections. They bought a newspaper. News media is the root of all evil. There can be no bad cops. There can be no poverty, no crime, nothing bad in society if only media stops committing systemic fraud. If you want more details, debate me in public. If you think that sounds like I'm exaggerating. Here we see them. They're driving down the street. They see, hey, cheer up. Let's stop and frisk some niggas. There's one up ahead. Did you see a furtive movement? Yes, I did. Probable cause. Here we come. They get out. Up against the wall, nigga. Don't forget our sensitivity training, Jerry. Oh, right. Against the wall, Mr. Nigga. And Negro Nightmare says, you ain't got probable cause, copper. Yes, we do. Your nigga's skin. Most suspects are black. Copper? Is this guy a queer, too? Negro says, you may want to step the fuck back up, policeman. And the cop says, wow, this is a real weird one. This nigga's so cracked up, he's got invisible guns. Love the mask, too. And there's a lot of inside jokes that won't make any sense right now. Man alone, blah, 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 blah. It tells a racist joke, blah, 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 blah. And it's a great joke that I really did hear in Rikers. And then he points at the cops and says, you crackers want to know what be also funny? This guy talks like the nigga Mr. Spock. What's up with that? His ghetto slang is atrocious. He's lucky we caught him before some real hoods and thugs did. He sounds like Black Yoda. I guess I give up. What be also funny? This! And Negro Nightmare shoots them both in the face. Looks like he has invisible guns, but they are water guns, wristband thingy-majingies, adapted to shoot pepper spray directly into their eyes. Ah, my fucking eyes! Then he smashes them in the nuts. How you like me now, suckers? While they are on the ground crying like the bitches they are. Then we see him look around. He's standing by the police car, turns the lid on a glass jar, pours it inside the police car. It's urine. My wife's a genius, Harold thinks to himself. The Negro Nightmare triumphs again. I heard something beeping. And that's the origin story of Negro Nightmare. And then you see him in the story as it unfolds. He eventually crosses paths with the other new superheroes who are anti-police, anti-government. Some of them aren't. Some of them go after regular criminals, and then they slowly realize, wait a minute, these aren't the real criminals. And the whole comic tells you the truth about life. But it masquerades as a adorable little comic book. It's pretty raunchy, pretty vulgar, pretty graphic. And I pull no punches. The other superheroes are amazing too. But a lot of them I can't reveal because others will steal them. Negro Nightmare, I feel confident that you won't be seeing a Negro Nightmare movie in the coming year. Pardon me while I belch. And I wish I could put this graphic novel out, but I'm a little busy with super emergency life and death crises. So I made this teaser just to put it out there, to maybe whet society's appetite someday. The Negro Nightmare, oh my God, I love him. He is one of the more charming of all the characters. They're all pretty great. Was there anything else I needed to say? Remember, no one's challenged me on this yet. Say one of the female superheroes, and there's a bunch. One of the female superheroes has the greatest superhero name of a female ever. Her name is TNTNA. 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 Most people will get that, or at least the majority of people will get that. It's pretty damn clever. TNT means explosives, dynamite, TNT. TNA means tits and ass. So she is like explosive and dangerous tits and ass. Little better than Wonder Woman, little better than Marvel Girl, little better than Batgirl. So that's another example of how I take it up a lot of notches from conventional superheroes, a lot smarter, a lot more fun. What's more fun, TNA or Marvel Girl? See, I have no competition. What the fuck? Everyone's so goddamn lazy in this world. So I tried to lead by example. And that is our sampler teaser taste of the Negro Nightmare. If you're asking if he dies first in the comics, I cannot reveal the answer to that. And keep in mind, but I'm afraid that, in fact, my biggest fear was these graphic novels were so amazing, and everybody I was showing them in Rikers was like, holy shit, you're going to make millions of dollars and get killed. And I said, that sounds about right. I'm prepared to die for these graphic novels. This graphic novel's big. It's about 220 pages. The others are about 150 pages. And, just so you know, it was all black and white. They're all coloring books. That's the conceit. They are all coloring books. There is no color. Get over it. Some of the art is fantastic. Most of the art is not fantastic because the situation and circumstances of me creating this was very difficult. Having to draw and sleep on concrete floors, or being delirious from sleep deprivation, or having to use shitty pens that I had to sell my chicken in the commissary to get. You wouldn't believe. I had to sneak these out 8-10 pages at a time when my girlfriend would come visit me. I mean, this shit is... The making of this would be one of the best books of all time. You cannot believe the sick shit they did to me. It's a miracle that I actually got any of this stuff done. All the shit they did to me. And there's so many stories I could tell you, but not for today. I have a bad habit of talking too much, and I think I've already gone over my time limit, ladies and germs. Oh yeah, but please excuse. I mean, yes, a lot of shitty art, a lot of shitty layout. Remember, I had no idea how to write a story. I had no idea how to make a comic book. I had no idea how to make a graphic novel while I was in Rikers, held illegally for 2 years. For speech. Their argument is we gave him 6 years in jail. He only served 2. Their argument is because he wrote 3 mass emails humiliating us. 2 years I served in jail for that, If you're telling the truth, we have a giant scandal. But every piece of evidence says you're not telling the truth, so it's an even bigger scandal. In fact, many of my arrests are for cartoons. Many of my trips to jail were for cartoons. I was actually a political cartoonist at a newspaper, and they jailed me, and my editors covered it up. Not once, twice. You can't believe the shit done to me. There's nobody like me in human history. Nothing comes close. My shit is insane. My arrests are insane. My trials are insane. Guinness Book of World Records says I'm going to get most trials in human history. I've only had 9. That's because 21 times they choked when I said, we're going to trial. They said, we don't want to go trial against him as his own attorney. He's going to make us look like fools. So 21 of my false arrests, they dropped all the charges rather than go against me at trial. Not bad, I must say. Pretty flattering. I don't think Bob Kane can touch me there. But, so yeah, a lot of the art is shitty. But I'm very honest throughout the comic books. Like I apologize where it's really bad layout. I apologize and I explain, you have to keep in mind. I was in Rikers. I couldn't go Google stuff. I couldn't look stuff up. I couldn't see how do you make a graphic novel. So I just had to fucking invent it all on the spot. And surprisingly, a lot of it came out really fucking brilliant. I was shocked. I just wanted to make a dark and twisted little comic book, and then it just kept growing and growing and growing and growing with new good ideas. Thank you to them, in a way, because these wouldn't exist otherwise. When you're sitting in jail staring at the wall for a month because you're illegally being held in solitary confinement, you come up with really good ideas. Also, my best song lyrics come out of Rikers Island. So remember, that's why I told the judges, I said, haha, you're going to put a guy who's an artist and a writer into jail, and he's a communist, and you're going to give him free food, free everything else, free room and board? Could that backfire? I even said straight to judges' faces, you know what I'm going to be doing in jail while you pay for all my food and electricity and paper and everything else? I'm going to be writing songs about what a crook you are. I even joked, I've renamed it Writer's Island. Ha, 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 ha. If you know anybody who wants to write a book, tell them to go to jail. Federal prison's better, of course. If you ever want to do a ton of reading or relaxing, you want to go to jail. If you ever need some serious medical help and you can't afford it, go to jail. They have to pay for all of it. Now, that's not to say the service isn't shitty and the food isn't shitty and everything isn't shitty. It is. And I was in the shittiest jail in the Western Hemisphere. Rikers Island is fucking super shitty. Everything you've been told is wrong. Prison is far better than jail. But everything you believe is incorrect. And I continue to ramble, and it's 32 minutes. Sorry, there's billions of facts I'd like to tell you. Not many videos have I made reveal some of those stories. There's too many. I'd love to do books about all of them, but I'm a little busy. I have more work to do in 12 months than any human being, arguably every human being combined in 100 years. If that sounds like hyperbole, it means you didn't think shit through and you knee-jerked. And I challenge you to a public debate. You will decline, because deep down you know I wouldn't have said it if it wasn't true. I could just say I'm the busiest human being on earth. There's no need for me to say I'm busier than every other human on earth combined. Unless it's true. There'd be no reason to make a boast that extreme. But I like to be accurate. To say I'm the busiest human being of all time is totally misleading. It just suggests that I'm busier than everybody else. But in just the category of writing, I'm busier than every other human being on earth combined. In just the area of guitar playing, I'm busier than every other human being on earth combined. In just the area of ukulele, I'm busier than every other human being on the earth combined. Just in the issue of political cartooning, I am busier than every other human being on the planet Earth combined. Just in the area and category of law, I am busier than every other human being on the earth combined. I can keep going. I got tens of thousands of these. We've seen it. If I don't reinvent the musical, who will? The answer is clear. No one. If I don't get roof patios on all the buildings in New York City and all major cities, the answer is clear. There's not one other person who will. There's nobody on earth who gives a shit about anything. Human beings just try to make it through the day. They're not more ambitious than that. They only care about money and stupid shit like that. No one is trying to fix most problems on the earth. Inertia is too powerful. So all that fucking labor is left to the smart guy, the guy with the fucking conscience, the guy with the fucking heart. That asshole is me. So I'm fucking destroyed. I will not get even 1% of my work done. If I live to be 100, I won't get 1% of my work done. It's not physically possible. You cannot know. It's just horrific. I've got thousands of brilliant, innovative graphic novels I'd like to do now. I'm not going to do any of them. I'm not even going to start on almost any of them. I'm not even going to draw a mock-up cover for most of them. I really hate being alive. But somebody has got to push your society forward. And I'm trying. I don't know that I'll succeed because I've got 7 billion morons trying to stop me, and it is more difficult than you think. Plus, I have less resources than almost anybody on the planet. It sucks to be me. Have a nice day, and if I've inspired just one of you to kill all the politicians, it will have all been worth it. Thank you for listening. Over and out.